Guys, I'm back with another one, and today what I'm going to be looking at is, obviously I'm going to take a quick little glance at BTC. My main reason why I'm going to be doing this one today is so I can actually have a look at altcoins, see where we're going on altcoins, see what we're doing. I'm also going to be looking at altcoins versus BTC, see if they're still bleeding out like they look like they are. I've also got a few other things that we're going to be looking at, the calendars, red folder news, chain exposed like I've shown you before, and a few other things as well. So let's get straight into it, guys. Right then, I'm on BTC. I'm not going to do much on BTC because I did a lot of it on Monday. But you know, this is the daily bull that I had marked out that got inverted. At the minute, we are trading inside the bull fair value gap. We are inside a big bullish order block as well. So there ain't really much to be looking at with BTC. But to be honest with you, yesterday you could see that it was going to be pushing up to around these areas. You know, you've got a bit of liquidity lying there around 661, 180. We've also got some more liquidity lying around 65,036. So they're important levels to look at. Main level of liquidity, which is an efficiency, an inefficiency here at this area. I'm still looking at something like this to be taken out. And then, as you know, I've got some areas marked out here that line up. We've also got more areas here that are possibly going to get tapped into. So if we have another little look here, because I don't really want to do much on BTC because I have done a lot on BTC on Monday. So we're just going to have a little look here. We've got a fair value gap in there at around between 46,819 and 45,612. So let's keep our eye on them levels. This area here has already been tapped and it went through, took out these equal lows here. So we're gonna keep an eye on these levels as well. So let's get into a few altcoins. The first altcoin that I'm gonna look at is Ethereum, because to be honest with you, Ethereum's not really performed like people thought it was gonna do. So we're into Ethereum here. I marked this out the other day. We've got a daily bearish fair value gap here. You're gonna have lying liquidity on Ethereum at this area where people have shorted it. Was a good short into that fair value gap there. Mark that out. Into that fair value gap there. Didn't invert the fair value gap, dropped below the midpoint of the fair value gap, and then took out these lows. We've still not taken out these lows here or here. Certain areas to keep an eye on. So it could potentially come back up into this same fair value gap on the daily. Wipe this liquidity out here. Tap. Bleed, take these lows out. So we'll keep an eye on that and see where we go from there on Ethereum. We've got TON. Let's have a look at TON. Let's have a little look at TON. TON. This is a fairly important level on TON here. We are in that area at the minute. Daily wise, fair value gaps. We've got a small fair value gap here. Tapped into it, retraced. I know there's been a lot of news around Ton with the guy that owns the coin or owns Telegram. That's why we've had this bit of a drop, because he got arrested on criminal charges or something along them lines. So this area here is a fairly important area on Ton. Let's drop into the 4 hour. We've got a 4 hour order block there. Got another big order block here. That created a massive fair value gap. Let's see the way it reacts here, because we've got underlying liquidity around $5. Let's see how it reacts. But this here is a massive inefficiency. But as we've seen with most coins, you know, there's nothing stopping them from going even lower than where they started out originally. So yeah, just keep an eye on this level here, which is around 5.040. Let's have a little look at that area. I want to see something along these lines. Sweep this area, bit of sideways action, push up, start to create fair value gaps on the way up, tap into them, and then go off again for this area up here. Keep your eye on them areas on Ton. The next one I'm going to be looking at is Sui. I'll just type it in. Sui. I had a massive area marked out here on Sui, where it could come back into. Let's go on to the daily. This is an area that I marked out, which is a big daily fair value gap. Let's just remove that. That's an intraday volume profile. Have a look here. See how we hit the midpoint on Sui, and now we've started to push off. It could potentially drop down into this lower area. That were a big order block there. And we came back up into this bearish order block. See how we've come up into it, failed, come up into it, failed. Great trade. That's why I like these order blocks. They can help you out so much. So keep your eye on Sui. Potential longs around 6583, 7400. You can DCA into these if you want. But like I said, there's a big order block here. So keep your eye on that. And we've got Nia. I like Nia. It did have a big push up Nia. So let's keep an eye on Nia. See where we're going to go with Nia. I did have this area marked out in Nia. It's failed to hold that area, unfortunately. Because, to be honest with you, I like Nia a lot. I think it's a great coin, Nia. Got liquidity areas here, some at the bottom at $3.86. Got another area here, 2.489. You've got a nice order block there at around $2.07. Let's just see where we're going to go from there. I think this here, what I marked out, was a weekly fair value gap. Let me have another little look. We'll remark it up. Take a little look at it. So you got a big weekly fair value gap here. It had already been tapped into. So they tend not to hold much if they've already been tapped into. See how it's inverted that fair value gap? Come back into that fair value gap. Hit midpoint again. And then off she went. Then we created a bearish fair value gap in this area. Let's remove that one. Mark out that bearish fair value gap here. Tapped into the top of it and came back down. So near possible sweep of liquidity there around $3. Possible sweep of liquidity at around $2.05. Maybe a bit lower, $2.04, $5. Daily. Not really holding much. If you have a little look there, we created a bullish fair value gap, but we fired straight through it. It makes it invalid. You know, you don't want to just, most of these coins, say that's your daily fair value gap there. You don't just want to take a long. You want to see the reaction. If it plays around in that fair value gap for a while, if it had just gone sideways in that fair value gap and then fired off, you know, when it's playing around, then yeah, take your long. But you are going to take losses along the way. It's not going to be perfect every single time when you take these trades. That's just the way trading goes. So be prepared to take losses at the same time. But I'm looking at something like this. Possible come back up into there. Sweep that. And then start to create bullish order flow. Fair value gaps along the way. Take your trades inside them. And then be looking for this liquidity here at $5. $6.04. Next one I'm going to be looking at is Injective. Let's have a little look at Inju. To be honest with Inju, it's looking like it's holding its own. It's not really dumping like a lot of the other coins that I've been looking at. So we are literally coming back into an order block here, which is a decent bullish order block. Have we taken out them? Yeah, we took out all these equal lows here. We've got an untapped fair value gap at around $9.05 there. Could be a nice time for a long around that area. But before taking your long, you want to see the structure. You want to see the way it's creating structure. You know, break a structure, change your characters, things along them lines. Don't just hop straight into a trade and pray to God that it goes up or it goes down, because that's where you're going to be getting wrecked. Most people get wrecked doing that. Seen it too many times. And I said yesterday it started to bore me. Seeing people getting wrecked all the time because they just want to degen into a quick trade. Well, it's definitely going to do this. That it's not definitely going to do out. It'll do what it wants. On the weekly, we've got another fair value gap there on the weekly, which is between $12.08 and $9.10. Midpoint of that fair value gap is around $10.09. So keep your eye on that. So we've got this liquidity line here, $13.05. It did take the liquidity around $4.29 though. Maybe a little bit lower, $14.19 and $13.49. Keep your eye on them levels on Inju. I'm going to do AVE. And then after I've done AVE, we're going to see, we're going to do the altcoin versus Bitcoin to see how much these altcoins, we all probably know how much these are bleeding. And it doesn't really look too good for altcoins at the minute. AVE is above the value area high, but it's really just going sideways at the minute. I think it's following BTC at the minute. It just tends to be following BTC a lot. It's not, you know, some coins will have their own mind and they'll start moving in their own ways. But we all know the big boy BTC, and most coins will follow BTC. We are above the value area high here. Got a tiny fair value gap there. We've got another fair value gap that we're in at the minute, which is around 127.37 and 123.37. Let's go into the weekly. Can't really see much on the weekly, but we've got a big sell order block here around 260 and 165. I know it's a big range, but that's the order block. We've also got a bullish order block between 67 and 50 on the weekly. On the daily, there's an order block around 99 and 70. Right, let's do this last one. AVAX. Have a little look at AVAX. We are in a decent bullish order block at the minute. Keep your eye on AVAX. Could be a potential long in AVAX coming. We've got some nice liquidity line at around 28. We've also got this liquidity line below at around 17.31. So we want to be looking for sweeps. You know, if we're getting somewhat along these lines, a sweep and then a sweep. But you want to see it hold this area and then sweep again and start to move off. Just keep your eye on them levels. Well, let's go into this chart. Let's have a little look at these. So, ETH versus BTC. You can clearly see on the weekly, it's absolutely getting smashed to bits. This area here on ETH BTC could be a nice long. So keep an eye on that area on ETH BTC. We've also got another area a little bit lower. These are your three areas that you want to be keeping an eye on, ETH BTC. And then what we're going to do is, let's have a look at the total 2. Total 2 hit that order block and started to fire. So the order block got created here. It then hit the order block again. And most coins started to bleed out once again. This could be your area. Might sweep out this area here at 720 bill. And then fire off. You want to see it fire through this order block really. And take out that high there. That's what you want to see. Let's have a little look at total 3. Total 3, bit similar. I've got these areas marked out. Can you see how these areas literally line up with order blocks? What are we looking at? Where you can take your longs. So this here has been marked out as a long potential area. Getting up into this area. Possibly taking out highs. Let's keep an eye on this. Because to be honest, it's not really started to create bearish structure as of yet. It is coming down, but we are still, you know, if you are using structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, you want to see it now create a higher high, higher low. That's what you want to be looking at. Let's have a little look at TON BTC. Yep, absolutely getting smashed to pieces. Which I knew it was probably going to do, like most altcoins at the minute, because BTC dominance is literally it's riding high. So before we go into any more of them, let's go to BTC dominance. Have a little look at BTC dominance. And look at BTC dominance. Even on the weekly. Look at it. You know, these are your potential areas on BTC dominance here. These are these are all-time highs, but these are your potential areas where you want to be going long on altcoins, because this area here is a massive order block where people start to come out of BTC and start to go into altcoins. So then BTC, you know, if it does carry on just grinding up to this area, starts to slow down, and then you see somewhat along them lines. That's what you want to see. I don't think it's going to go as low as what I've marked out there, but you know, it's probably going to keep grinding up to these areas before starting to come down, which is going to give a little bit of an altcoin rally into this area and then start to do the same again. It could take a while to play out. I'm not saying it's going to play out in 7 days, but it could take a while to play out. And then you've got BTC, SUI. We probably know what we're going to be looking at here. Where's BTC do it? SUI. No, it's not showing me that. I don't know why, but let me have a little look. There. No, that's not doing it either. SUI versus Bitcoin. Fucking hell. Every time I've got that marker on, I completely forget. Yeah, bleeding out. Once again. Order block, bleeding out. You want to see a change of character and a break of structure. You want to see SUI, you're probably going to chop, and then you want to see it break that area there. That's what you want to see. So keep an eye on that as well. SUI versus BTC, near BTC. Yeah, we knew all this was going to be like this, didn't we? It's near BTC is getting absolutely smashed as well. Like most altcoins, I will go through them just to have a little look, but I think we know the outcome with most of these. Yeah. Getting smashed. That's why you want to see that BTC dominance start to hit that order block, start to chop and then drop, and then this is where you're gonna start seeing these altcoins start to rally. When BTC dominance starts to drop. If BTC dominance doesn't start to drop, you're not really going to see much rally unless you get some news in the coin or anything like that. If BTC looks actually pretty strong, if I'm being honest with you, it looks a lot better than most of these other coins. I'll tell you that for a fact. Could have been a great one to hold this, Ave. It looks a lot stronger than the others. AVAX, BTC. Let's have a look. Nah, it's getting destroyed, doesn't it? See that? The only one that I've seen there is AVE BTC. That looks fairly strong against BTC. I know it's in a downtrend. You can clearly see that it's in a downtrend against BTC. But you want to see it start to break out of these downtrends now. You know, where we're flattening out, and we look like we are flattening out at the minute. If you're thinking of buying any spot, AVE might be the one. Let's just go to the normal chart of AVE. AVE might be the one to actually start building where I've told you these levels start building up in AVE. You know, I'm not saying that it's going to take out all times high, but if we do start to get this altcoin rally, then potentially we are going to take out these all times highs. Hopefully. Let me have a little look here. So we've got this calendar here as well, CryptoCraft. You can have a little look yourself. These are the important dates. Friday the 6th of September. We've got unemployment rate, hourly earnings, and PMI. These are your red folder news. Keep an eye on them areas. Still, I showed you this previously. Chain exposed. This area here is going to be your overheated zone. We're nowhere near that overheated zone at the minute. We're still down here. Keep your eye on that. Supply in profit and loss. Still, the supply, I think, is only in a 22% loss, and supply in profit is 77%. So I don't think we've topped out yet. That's just my personal opinion on it. I really don't think that we have topped out yet. So, as they would say, hodl, hodl, hodl. Keep hold of them coins and don't, because when you're selling your coins back in a major loss, these big boys are scooping them up, saying thank you very much. And we do know that we are the liquidity for these guys. So let's stop being the liquidity for these guys and let's make them our liquidity. It's probably never going to happen, but we can hope, can't we? So yeah, that's it today. It was just a quick review on some altcoins, and I want people to start commenting in the comment section below and just tell me what altcoins you want me to review. Because if you tell me in there, I will go through them at some point. I'm not like most of these little sausages on YouTube that are not going to reply to you, or they'll have an auto reply on. I'll actually reply myself, and I will tell you if I'm going to be able to review that coin or not. So if you do want me to, then just send me a quick message in the comments, and I'll go from there. But yeah, that's it from me today, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Happy trading.